Rachel.
Yes.
Thank you for filling in on the show today. As you know, we usually ask Dave a trivia question. But here's a trivia question, the kind of question that Dave usually misses. Here's your trivia question. This is a regular trivia question, not about the show this time.
Okay.
Here's a trivia question. Is a burp a type of flatulence? I know you know the answer to this.
So like the answer is kind of mixed, but like I prefer to go with yes, technically it is.
Yes, technically it is. That is 100% right. I knew Dave definitely would have gotten this wrong, but it is 100% right. All right. Everybody check us out at Six Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com. Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Rachel Teichman. We agree. We've got a great contestant on the show today. Please put your hands together for Sam Tallent. All right, Sam, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here, and your voice sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty stoked on why it sounds. I don't know why it sounds this way, but it feels good.
All right. We also have a great studio audience. We have Rena Calm and
Hi. James
Mattern. Welcome. All right, everybody. This is going to be great. I can tell already. Sam, I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I'll ring a bell if I like your answer like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I'll decide whether or not your appearance on the show is worth giving you $5 whole.
Understood.
All right, let's get straight to question number 1. Question number 1. Which came first, your actual talent or your last name?
Oh, my last name.
Oh, yeah? Your last name is actually Talent?
Yeah, I would have spelt it right if it was a stage name. It's Tallent.
Well, you know, like, but if it's a stage, most people
biffed my pseudonym.
Well, people misspell stage names all the time on purpose. They'll throw a Z in there when it should be an S. Like, it happens.
That's in certain circuits that I don't work. You know, I definitely have had this name. It's a curse. It's a blessing. Yeah, I'm saddled with it.
Is your circuit board complete?
No,
What does it
I'm
mean?
working on it actually. I have an Alienware that I've been building.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I would slide in somewhere and be like, it's Talent with a Z, and then walk away and see what they do with that.
Well, it's very fun. Sometimes they'll be like Sam Tallent, and I go up there, and you know, I couldn't be any whiter or whiter. So yeah, no, it's rough.
Well, I like it that it is your original name, so Bell.
Thank you. If I didn't get a bell for my last name, I would have been very upset.
Well, good thing we avoided that, because nobody wants to see Sam upset.
It's also fun when the MC's like, "This next guy's got a lot of talent. Welcome to the stage." And then he's like, "What's the last name?" Sam Tallent.
You know, it would be fun if when you came on stage, it was like as a flying tackle. You're like, ah! And then,
I would love to physically assault many MCs.
sounds like you've been doing comedy a while. All right.
Yeah, I'm a fucking petrified wood.
It is time for question number 2. But before we do that, can you tell people out there what you do?
I'm Sam Tallent. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I am a husband. I'm a decent home cook.
Oh.
I like to think that I'm good at dinner parties. I'm a good listener. I dabble in stand-up comedy. I've written a couple books. But yeah, what I do mostly is just try really hard on podcasts.
Is that an obituary?
Yeah, I wanted to write my own. That's my biggest bummer in my life is I won't be at my own funeral to hear everyone talk about how great I was.
What were you trying to achieve with that? Is that an obituary comment, Rachel? What was the point? What
Rachel's
was
saying
he
I
kept
look near
listing
death.
things like he's like a son and like an author. It sounded like an obituary.
Well, I think that I do those things more than I do stand-up comedy. You know, I pride myself more on being a good family member and friend than I do on being a good comic.
See what I mean?
I guess I do. It's time for question number 2. Question number 2. What was your latest life-changing event?
My mother's death.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. We are still looking for her killer, so is that... Was that an admission? Is that what you're saying, Victor? You thought you got away with it? Yeah, September 11th, she passed, so now I have to pretend to be sad about two things on September 11th. I miss my mom, but yeah, that reshaped me completely, and now I continue in the wake of her loss.
Were you close with your mother?
I was extremely close with my mother. I loved her dearly.
I am extremely close with my mother. I can understand that the pain you must be going through.
Well, I mean, I'm not a baby.
Is your mom funny?
Incredibly funny, very dry, very sardonic. My mom.
My mom's super funny too.
Yeah.
I like that.
I held up. My sister and my dad are completely shattered, but I'm mourning like a man. Smoking cigs in the kitchen, holding my hand over the burner.
Oh, so you're like a much better child than the other two.
No, I wouldn't say that. I just say that I'm a boy and she's a girl.
I know that your mom was funny because one time, I think it was like Christmas and you were home, you put up like a picture of her feet and like we're trying to sell pictures of your mom's feet or something like that. And it made me so happy because I'm like, that has to be like the best mom because you guys are like cracking each other up over there. So
yeah. There was a great bit we did. She had a stroke, so she was like speech impaired, and every now and then I'd be like, "Mom," and I would hold like a plate of like sweet treats by my crotch, and she'd reach for it, and I'd say, "Don't grab my penis," and I'd pull it straight away. She hated that one. She'd go, "Oh, damn it!" Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Great, she's missed.
I wonder if my mom would laugh at that joke, and there's only really one way to find out.
Can we call her right now?
No, we are not calling my mother right now, but I'm going to try it next time I see her. So we'll see what that is. All right, that was a great story. So I'm going to say bell.
Thank you.
Can you imagine if you didn't get a bell for that?
Yeah. It is now time for question number 3. Question number 3. How long would you survive in an action movie?
Not the credits. I wouldn't make it through the Welcome to Paramount Pictures presents.
Yeah. You'd be like in the opening teaser, you'd die.
Yeah, I mean, I would, as soon as there was some kind of like, well, is this like a post-apocalyptic experience, or is this just like there's a giant tsunami coming for Denver?
Whatever's your favorite.
Well, if it's post-apocalyptic, I am selling my hole immediately. Knock my teeth out, take me. All right, as long as I get salt, I'll be fine. I would hopefully be selfless and die saving others, but I probably wouldn't due to my pronounced cowardice. So yeah, I don't think that I would like make it very far, man.
All right. Well, I think that I agree with you that you probably wouldn't make it very far because you don't seem to have like the action movie mentality.
Yeah, and also like I get winded very easily.
Mhm.
I lift weights and stuff, but I get gassed quick. So what, are we running from the lava flow? Because I'm melted.
Right. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. If a chasm opens up and I fall inside, what am I supposed to cling to the walls? No, I don't have the upper body strength to hold up this 310. No, dude,
I got it. Okay. So I'm going to say no bell. I'll tell you why is because what kind of fool would I be if I gave you a bell when you don't even survive to the opening credits?
Yeah. No bell. What am I, Alfred? Come on. Huh? Anyone made that joke yet?
No, not yet. That is the first Alfred Pennyworth joke on the show.
No, the guy who the Nobel Prize is named after.
Oh,
Alfred Nobel. No. Well, people have done Nobel Prize jokes a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
You're thinking about Alfred in the context of Batman, though. I think that's the exact proof of why you would not be good at an action film at all, because you're like, what's the butler up to?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you did not get a bell on that question, so we're just going to move on and pretend like it didn't happen.
Nothing wrong with honesty.
Okay. Question number 4. Were you ever a bully?
Oh, yes, and continue to be.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Just like, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I love when a young comedian shows promise and they're funny because then I can, treat them like they're a freshman on the football team.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's a sign of if I weren't to bully you and give you the business, I really don't give a shit about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, that's some kind of warped, apology for the toxic masculinity that pervades me. But I mean, I bullied a kid so bad in high school that he moved to a different state. That was just a football situation.
Did you take his lunch money?
You say bullying, I say hazing. I say building a team. But yeah, I'm guilty. There's blood on my hands.
I think I do something to young comedians as well. the thing that I do constantly to young comedians is insist on ridiculous intros that make no sense, but I insist that they do them over and over again.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I mean, I haven't like pantsed anyone. I'm much more of a psychological threat these days.
Yeah, I get it. It's the same. I feel like the same thing. It's like a gentle hazing, because you're just trying to say you may shoot up the ladder of fame fast, but I got the goods, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather them shoot up the ladder of fame than shoot up the open mic. You know what I mean? That's a threat that I fear.
Is that a thing that's happened recently?
No, it hasn't. And I shouldn't have said it because someone's gonna do it.
Yeah.
You almost wished it into existence.
Not
I didn't
yet.
wish it, but like that's fish in a barrel. I mean, if you want to move up from host to feature.
Yikes. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to tell everybody out there who's listening to this podcast as an idea farm, please don't do that.
Yeah,
Please.
no, I don't recommend it. But it would be very easy and effective. You could put up big numbers. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
The
I'm
FBI
gonna
wants
say-
to join the chat.
Let them in. I fear no man.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna-
it's less big numbers for like the damage. Some of them open mics I've been to are not well attended, but big numbers as far as probability and likelihood of it happening. Oh yeah, it is up there. Yep. Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, open mics are the postal service of
That's
the
the,
comedy industry.
Oh no.
Right.
The target demographic. Wink, right? Because of shooting targets. I'm sorry.
Can we mute Rena?
No, we can't.
I mean, we can. We have the
I mean,
ability.
We won't mute her. Let her puns fly free.
Yeah.
This
like
is
those
funny.
bullets.
So my friend who's in the pun society, by the way, Rena, I always tell him that puns are peasant humor.
Yeah.
So
Are you calling Rena a chicken?
A pheasant.
whoa, have you never heard the word peasant?
I think everybody here needs to read a book, and it should be Sam Tallent's book.
Or you're just
Yeah.
trying to be like Dave, right? You know the word, right?
Yes.
Thank God. Okay, I'm just double checking. All right. Anyway, no bell on that. It went to a very dark place, so no bell on that question. Time for question number 5. Question number 5. What's your favorite video game?
Favorite video game? Interesting. I don't really game. Tough one. I mean, all time Madden. That's definitely ruined the most male relationships I've ever had. Was,
Oh, really? You got
Madden games?
You get pissed off about that?
Yeah. Someone takes Michael Vick. You're coding. It's cheating. You know what I mean? You have to
Mhm.
walk out of Bubba Haas's basement. You have to say something rude to his mom out the door.
Actually, I'm sorry. I
He just hung
automatically said
35 points on you.
I automatically said when you said, you know what I mean, because I was just being agreeable. I actually know nothing about sports. I don't understand most of the names you're saying.
Oh, well, Bubba Haas was a kid I grew up with, and he was a dominant force in Madden in Elizabeth, Colorado between the years of 2001 and 2005.
Oh,
So
so I
yeah.
shouldn't have known.
Yeah, there's no reason to know him. He goes by James now. He's a very successful executive banker. But the Bubba Haas I know ran a West Coast offense, a lot of play action, and then he would bomb it down, running slants up the sideline. It was a bloodbath. Cover 2 didn't work. You couldn't play man. It was tough, man. And I still remember having to apologize, like to call his mom later and be like, "Sorry, I was rude on the way out the door, Mrs. Haas. I apologize."
So wait a
But
minute.
Bubba just rained paint on me with the Bengals, and that was the Cowboys. And this was 05.
Did this like bring out your bullying? Like maybe that's what it was. Like it got so bad that you were losing to Bubba that you started just getting mean, and that turned into your life. Did it start there? You think? Or
No, it came from being a very competitive jock growing up. I one-on-one drills. Bubba was dirt,
Mhm.
but you get that stick in his hand, it's over. It was
Mhm.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
All
Victor,
right.
you asked the question. Sorry, I
That
talked
is-
about sports in your video game inquisition.
You're right. It is kind of my fault.
Yes.
But so it's my fault that you get no bell on that question.
Yeah, it is your fault. Don't you forget it. The bully's back. Nice hat. Are those glasses
Thank you.
prescription?
It is time for question number 6. Question number 6.
Together, Varnado.
Have you ever touched another adult's poop?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I I've cleaned up after my grandparents when they had bowel issues.
Oh yeah, I
when they
suppose
were
that counts definitely.
destitute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely have touched another adult's feces.
Have you ever touched another adult's poop where they were? It wasn't like they were a baby or you were taking care of them, but like was there a third situation where you touch another person's poop?
Like without permission?
Yeah,
A third
like,
situation is called diarrhea.
nice.
What
Point
the third
persuasion.
situation is not called diarrhea. That's incorrect. It's not. I mean, the third situation is, do you think that when other people have diarrhea that they automatically spray it on other people?
Well, I'm just saying number 1 is pee, number 2 is poop, number 3, situation 3 is diarrhea, right?
No,
Sam, am I right? Was it diarrhea?
No.
Ah.
Number 3 is cum, and everybody knows that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, can we go back to happier times, like talking about open mic shootings? Like, I just can't. Can we go back to the glory days of this podcast?
No, okay. I've never handled dung for some kind of like scatological horniness. That's not for me.
Well,
I'm
not
red, white, and blue, man.
That's
I'm
not what I'm
apple
going
pie.
after. I'm not going after you. I'm just saying, have you ever touched another? You don't have to. I'm not even saying handle it. I'm just saying, have you touched? Like, for instance, I have touched my wife's poop because she pooped. She clogged up the toilet in her dad's house, and then I was forced to clean it, and he had a tiny plunger.
Oh,
it was tiny.
Okay,
yes.
So that is sexual. That is definitely sexual.
What?
St. Patrick's Day, 2009. My ex-girlfriend dropped her passport in a public toilet.
Oh, there you go.
And I dug it out for her.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. You know what? Bell.
Thank you. And now that I think about it, maybe I would survive in an action film. Look at that heroism. Look at that valor I just displayed.
Yeah, and the things that you're willing to do to survive. And this was only to possibly, continue to be in your girlfriend's good graces. You went and
this was a porta potty.
Exact. What? Really?
Yeah. Oh, it was
Yikes.
hellish.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, but I had the long enough arms.
May I say barf?
Yeah, barf, puke, vom.
I think the wording of your question is troubling too, because asking if you've touched another adult's poop implies that you were like, I would like to touch that, as opposed to like most of these situations are like, I got poop on me, like I got touched by poop kind of a thing, So I don't know.
Like emotionally or physically?
I'm saying like he wasn't like reaching around trying to touch poop in there, but yeah, he got poop on him. You know what I mean? Like you weren't trying to touch your wife's poop, like poke it like a weirdo or hold a turd.
Rena, thank you so much for your unsolicited writing critique.
Damn. Victor's got claws.
He's a tiger.
Or a lady.
You're a lady. Jinx Teichman.
All right. You've answered all 6 questions.
Yeah, begrudgingly. That poop one was not fun.
Well, thank you for answering it. You totally did. So thank you for pushing through it, so to speak. You've answered all 6 questions. Now it's time to decide whether you get $5. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where they can find you?
You can find me at samtallent.com, Tallent, and also Instagram at Sam Tallent. I'll be all over the state of Illinois, February 16th through the 20th, Chicago, Quad Cities, Bloomington, Illinois, Peoria, and then South Bend, Indiana.
All right. Sam Tallent, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now let's decide whether or not you get $5. We always canvass the room. Let's start with Rachel. What do you think? Should Sam get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I'm gonna have to say no, because I was bored by the sports talk, by the football talk.
Yep.
Okay, kind of harsh, but okay. So a vote of no from Rachel. That apparently she doesn't like football talk at all because she rarely says no.
Hurts me.
All right, James.
It was nothing personal.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with honesty. I said that.
All right, James. What do you think?
I'm going to balance it out. Sam, I'm going to say yes because of the Michael Vick. I wasn't a Madden guy. I was NFL Street. And I had a team that was all comedians. And Richard Pryor was my quarterback. And it hurt me to replace him with Michael Vick. But I did because Michael was a double threat. So I relate to you and your pain, dog. And to balance the force, I'm voting yes, man.
Thank you,
Michael
James.
Vick, the evolution of quarterback.
Yeah, he's the future and the past.
You goddamn right.
Michael Vick. I couldn't picture him in my head if you
don't
put
Google
a gun
him.
in my head. I
Don't
will
Google it.
someday.
His stats
Keep
don't
it at
come
where
up
it is.
first.
Don't
Yeah,
Google.
you don't have to love sports. You just have to like dogs.
Oh, he's the dog guy. Yeah, that's right. Negative
It's time,
dog guy,
Victor.
though,
I
right?
won this argument a lot with people. He did his goddamn time.
It's a cultural thing.
All right. Rena, what do you think? Should Sam get $5 for his appearance on the show?
Yeah.
I'd like to remind you that he voted yes for you.
Well, regardless, I would say raise it to like 500 or something. I just think that you're not going to get another stand-up comic on here to say any stand-up comic shouldn't get more money, first of all. But for a very personal reason, just for the fact alone that he's about to spend time in Illinois, not Chicago, but Illinois and South Bend and the Quad Cities, give the man $5. He needs some kind of a joy.
Oh, why do you hate Illinois so much?
Oh, I've just been there a lot.
Got it. All right, Sam. Sam, what do you think? Should you get $5 for your appearance on the show?
I don't need the money. I'm doing just fine.
All right. Well,
give it to Teichman. All right, you should get a mic
thank
that
you.
works.
I will not. I will not. And not you either. No $5 for Sam. But thank you so much for being on the show. You were great.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was fun. Nice to meet you, Victor and Teichman.
Awesome. Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, nice to
Rachel,
meet
what
you.
did you learn from this week's show?
Let's see. I learned that if you stick your hand in a porta potty, then you don't become radioactive necessarily.
It was nice to watch you go on that journey for that sentence, Rachel. Sorry it didn't end up like you thought it would.
Thank
Everybody
you
check us
for
out.
your condolences.
Everybody, check us out at 6 Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.